Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Sharifah Fasaisa binti Abdul Naid and my metric number is 264188. I'm from Group N and I will present my individual assignment which is related to sexual orientation discrimination in the workplace. Enjoy. Okay, I will explain a little bit related to this issue. LGBT groups tend to experience discrimination not only from friends, society, and family, but also in the workplace. People tend to have sexual prejudice by discriminating this minority group, which is LGBT, solely because of their sexual orientation, different from others. LGBT people might be discriminated in terms of treatment, which will affect them physically and mentally. In terms of treatment, they have to experience bully, stereotype, alienated by colleagues, and also sexual harassment. The common situation is the superiors discourage LGBT employees to handle and get involved with business transactions or occasions with clients because they are afraid LGBT people will give bad impacts to the organizational image. This shows how LGBT group got different treatment from the society. In Malaysia, it is a hard task to collect exact numbers of LGBT who are discriminated because some of them conceal their sexual orientation to avoid discrimination issue. We also realize that how sensitive the LGBT issue in Malaysia. Okay, we'll move on to the reasons of sexual orientation discrimination. Why this is happening in the workplace? The first one is bad example. The society afraid the LGBT group will give a bad example to the future generation. We can see that majority people who reject LGBT are adults or parents who have kids. They don't want their kids or family become one of the LGBT community. They want their kids have ordinary life and being heterosexual like others. There are also a few cases where parents abandon their kids for being LGBT. This is quoted by an article from De Souza, Wesselman and Ispas in 2017, where older generation tend to discriminate more compared to youngsters. Second reason is deep culture and strong religiosity. They cannot accept anything that contradicting from their culture and religion teach. Malaysia has strong culture and tradition, and also one of the Muslim countries. So it is nearly impossible to Malaysia become open towards LGBT. Most of our organization Islamic Operation or IC oppose LGBT movement, which is a movement to fight for their right, which actively voiced out by United Nations UN. Okay, the third reason is prejudice stigma, which is delivered by the society from generation to other generation. Older people keep telling others on how bad LGBT people are, and it creates one prejudice stigma in the society. Nowadays, with the advancement of technology, people are easily oppressing LGBT through social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. This led to a bad impression on LGBT group because individuals who influenced by this stigma will dislike this minority group. So, what are the effects of sexual orientation discrimination to the stakeholders? The first one, employees demotivated to keep work in the hostile environment. They are anxious, have to hide their secret of being LGBT, which obviously shows how they not feel safe anymore to work in that organization. If we look into term of motivation in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this organization do not satisfy employee safety needs. It is a loss for organization to lose its valuable employees. The next effect is to its organizational image from potential employees' perspective. Those who are seeking for a job will hesitate to ask for a job in one organization which have discrimination issue. People will avoid this organization because it brings bad impression based on justice-based theory. Any type of discrimination are contradicting from equality concept. So it will cost the company because it will harder to them to make recruitment when people are avoiding and hesitate to apply job in their company. The next effect is lose potential customers. We do not know our potential customers' background. There can be one people who oppose LGBT, can be one of LGBT, and there also can be people who support LGBT. The potential customers will be afraid to be treated unfairly, so they will choose to not work with that organization. What are the suggestions to overcome sexual orientation discrimination in the workplace? The first one, implement anti-discrimination policy. The organization can revise their policy and include prohibition of discrimination. They can give penalty or warning letter for those involved with intentional discrimination. By using this method, it will reduce conflict and workplace tension because employees will less likely to discriminate other employees. Other than that, organization can create a medium for employees to voice out. What is the function of this medium? Okay, this medium can be accessed anonymously or they can directly approach the person in charge. The person in charge can be one of human resource department or external counselor. Their identity and privacy should be protected by the person in charge. External counselor can make online counseling such as telecounseling, e-counseling, or e-aduan. The employees might be more comfortable to share their problem to a person who not involved in the organization. The counselor can give advice or guide this minority group to reach a solution for their problem. We have to make sure our employees are able to manage their problem so that it didn't affect their job performance. Okay, the last suggestion from me is the organization should give merit and promotion based on individual performance or department's KPI index. The organization should avoid any favoritism, such as only give promotion to the heterosexual employees. Okay, from right-based theory, discrimination is the inequality that should not be universalized. We should let our employees work together in a team without conflict and issue. Maybe Malaysia can take United States, US as a role model by creating a federal law related to discrimination. Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a federal law that prohibits employment discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. The authority should take action because the LGBT also residents in Malaysia. Here is quote by Malala Yousafzai. She stated, "We cannot succeed when half of us are held back." This is correlated with sexual orientation discrimination issue. How one organization can improve if some of the employees or superiors still discriminate others? Obviously, they wouldn't work in team. Achieving organization's mission and objectives will be harder. Conclusion, as an ethical citizen, we're supposed to appreciate the variety and diversity of Malaysian people by respecting their decision in their life as long as it will not harm other people and environment. The LGBT employees also need support from the organization because colleagues are close persons other than friends and family. In this context, support is not encouraging people to fully accept LGBT belief in the society, but respect their life decision and not become prejudiced towards them are enough to define support. In a nutshell, one organization has to value and appreciate all their employees, no matter what their gender, race, skin tone, and even what are their sexual orientation. We cannot let the next generation under the same type of discrimination. So we have to start change our behavior and treatment towards LGBT people. Hashtag kita jaga kita. Thank you for watching. That's all from me. Bye bye.